Hi, you guys. All right, my name is Cricket Howells. I am a wellness advocate with doTERRA, and I have been asked to kind of give some input on what I use in doTERRA when it comes to athletes. And how many of you are an athlete, or maybe want to be an athlete, or maybe you have done sports in the past and they've kind of torn up your body, and now we're getting to that point later in age where we're having a lot of issues now, and it's really hard to play sports, to be athletic, to even get out there and exercise. Well, regardless where you are in your journey, I just wanted to give you a little bit about my background and why I use doTERRA and how I use doTERRA to basically manage my pain, all right? So I started playing sports when I was about 10 years old, which is actually pretty late considering today's standards, right? And as soon as I started playing, I was super excited with it. I love sports. So pretty much every season from then until I graduated from college, I was doing something. So I started with soccer, and then I got into softball. And then in high school, I did cross-country running, which is pretty intense, and you definitely log in a lot of miles. And then I did basketball in high school, and also did softball in high school. So 12 seasons straight there. And then after graduating, I went to college, and I actually I did play a few years of softball in college as well. And then I also got a basketball scholarship, yay, which helped pay for school for basketball. So when I didn't really experience any major injuries when I was younger. However, when I did start playing college ball, I tore ligaments in both of my ankles, and that was pretty devastating and definitely eye-opening, because I think until you have a major injury, we all think we're pretty invincible, right? So that, I rehabbed it. We went through all of that and felt like, all right, we're good. We can move on with our lives. And after college, I would run occasionally. I'd work out at the gym occasionally. But at that point, when you don't have organized sports and a coach kicking your rear end, you might fall back a little bit. And so then I ended up having 5 kiddos and really spent most of my time managing them and taking care of them. But I had always wanted to kind of get back into sports. I actually missed running. Have any of you ever dreamed about a sport that you used to do and you kind of want to go back to it, and you literally have dreams at night about it? And I would actually dream of how it felt to be running again. And so I really wanted to do that. However, I had also had some sort of an injury during that time, which actually made me a little bit concerned over it. So this was right before I had turned about 40, and I basically herniated the discs in my back. And I also had sciatica. It was extremely, extremely painful, and I was just walking like a little old lady. It was really hard to do anything. And so I did go to an orthopedic surgeon. I went to a neurosurgeon and wanted to see what my options were. And I was actually looking for more of a natural option too, because even though I didn't really know a lot about natural per se and how medications work, and I just never really wanted to over medicate, I guess. And so I did want to know what other options I had. And so both of these doctors basically said I needed surgery, back surgery. And I don't know about your experiences. I know that there are people that have really great back surgery experiences, but honestly, I haven't heard of too many. And so I was a little scared to go down that road. And so I thought, well, I think I want to try something else. And also these doctors had said, you know what? Probably not a good idea to be running. Basically, probably want to give that dream up, right? So here I had been hoping, by the time I, turned 40 again, that I could actually start running. The kids are finally getting old enough. They go back into school, and I don't have to run with a jogging stroller, which I despise. I'm sorry. I'm the type that likes to actually get out there and go, and I don't like jogging strollers. So I was excited to kind of start the next phase of my life. And so about this time, this is when I was introduced to doTERRA. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to try to go down the natural route first. And you know what, if I do end up needing back surgery, okay, we'll deal with it when we get there. But for now, what do I do to manage all of this? So I actually started taking doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. this was actually instrumental in me being able to kind of start walking again and to kind of support my pain and to actually get to a place where I realized, wow, it's not that chronic feeling every single day. I can actually manage my day, and I could go to the gym and work out, and I didn't feel like I couldn't walk afterwards unless it was, you know, too many burpees or squats or something. That's different. There's a difference between muscle pain and then just your chronic injury pain. So that was really instrumental in helping me get back on the road. And I understood that I really needed to work on my core. All right, so that did mean going back to the gym and lifting weights and doing all of those exercises that most of us probably don't like to do. But if I wanted to be healthy and feel strong, that's actually a very, very important part of all of this. Shortly after that, doTERRA actually came out. Well, they have a deep blue line, and you might be very familiar with this, but they also came out with their deep blue polyphenol complex. All right, these are little capsules basically that you can take internally. And these have actually, and we also have the deep blue oil that many of you might be familiar with as well. So I actually, along with the Lifelong Vitality Pack, and basically these are supplements. You know, it really comes down to, there are a lot of supplements on the market. Most of them, I'm sorry you guys, they're just not up to par. So we are not eating as well as we should be. Our body is lacking huge on nutrients. And if you want your body to actually work at its peak level, and you know, it's constantly trying to fix itself, and we're just not giving it any tools. Even the food, when we try to eat really well, it's really deficient in a lot of nutrients and minerals. So the Lifelong Vitality Pack it's probably changed more lives in doTERRA than any other oil has, and so it's definitely something to consider. So anyway, that's that. And then I started doing the deep blue line. And so basically wherever my injury would be, so if my back was hurting, I would put on deep blue. You can also do it with the deep blue oil and apply that. And but when the deep blue capsules came out, this was life-changing. All right, so this is basically a natural anti-inflammatory. All right, so you know, I don't want to go into, you know, doTERRA, we're here we have natural options, but I also want people to know that we're not going to claim that it fixes you, heals you, any of that, cures any disease. But I do want to let you know that you do have amazing options to support your body in whatever it's dealing with at any time. All right, so my goal was to manage my pain without having, honestly, to take anything else for it. All right, I understand that there are a lot of side effects with a lot of the things that many of us are taking to help manage our pain nowadays. And we might not see those side effects until many, many, many years, decades down the road. So my goal is to inform people that they have other options and help support you on that journey so that you can manage your pain without having to take all this other stuff. So this is a natural alternative to as an anti-inflammatory. All right, so I take these twice a day, morning and night, to help manage my pain, and it's worked really, really well. Now, I'm not going to say that I am absolutely pain-free, because I'm not, but there is a big difference what I was experiencing and how I can manage my day now. All right, so not only do I have herniated discs in my back, but I basically re-injured my ankles. It looks like we got a fly around here. Awesome. Everything, and especially when the door's open and I have the diffuser on, the bees all come in. It's super funny. They just like, where is that wonderful smell? So also during my running, just as an FYI, well, actually, let me go back. So I've started taking the deep blue, getting back to the gym, and I was able to manage my pain again. So as of now, I have not had back surgery, and I did start running again. I have done a few half marathons. I've done a marathon. I do RAGNARs. I don't know if you've ever heard of those. I'd heard of them, and it had always been kind of a dream to maybe do one day, and so it was super exciting that I can actually get back on the road and do those. They're like a 200-mile relay with 12 of us. So I have a bunch of girlfriends. We all go out and we run, and it goes from Friday morning all the way through Friday night, and all the way through Saturday into like Saturday afternoon. And it's super fun. And it's just neat to be in my 40s and still feel like, okay, I can do this. So what happens when I do injure myself again, which I have, all right? So I have torn ligaments in my ankles again. And that's, again, super depressing when that happens. And I do have other things that pop up currently now, dealing with runner's knee. But again, I have actually not taken one single, I've done nothing but natural, basically, to manage my pain. I've taken nothing else in we're talking about 4 years now. And I just love that I've been able to do that and that I can go out and live my life again. And I will do that as long as I can until I totally break. So we were actually talking about, how funny it is that as athletes, when we did do a lot of sports growing up, we thought that that was something that was good for us and that it would actually, build up our bone density and our cardiovascular, and overall our health would be just amazing. But I think a lot of us are finding when we do a lot of sports and we've been very athletically inclined that we actually have a lot of injuries down the road, or actually our bodies aren't really in the best shape as we'd hoped. There's a lot of, they get torn down, all right? So I think it's a little bit of a shock for some of us, and some of us may be at that point where we think we don't really have any options and we can't really get back out there and play and be athletic or even just exercise anymore. But I want you to know that you do have options. And if you never actually did really exercise, and maybe now you're thinking you'd like to engage in that, but your body hurts or whatever, just, you know what, I'm here to help support you on that journey, because again, you can do this. So I have been asked what are some of the other things that I use. Now, actually, I actually get the big liter size deep blue because I use this a lot. So this is a wonderful lotion, again, that helps with managing our pain. It's great for muscle aches and joint issues, any of that you may be dealing with. And so again, you can put the deep blue oil in with that as well to kind of make it a little bit more intense. And then of course our deep blue capsules, I take 2 of these a day to just basically manage everything. But then I also do some other oils that I feel are very important based on a lot of research that is out there. So I actually will take this one, DDR Prime. This one is really great for cellular support. And really, when anything goes wrong in our body, a lot of it has to do with our cells kind of freaking out. And so this one's really good for cellular support and also for pain in general. So DDR Prime is a really big one. There's also Copaiba. This is a new one that has come out. And this one's basically as close as doTERRA is going to get to medicinal marijuana. All right, so you don't have any of those other little side effects that we worry about when we think of, marijuana. But this hits a lot of the same receptor points and no THC or anything, but the stories on this one have been absolutely incredible. So this is another one that I use to help support me. And then, frankincense. Frankincense, a great anti-inflammatory, great for cellular support. This is actually your king of oils. And so getting this on you somehow, whether it's, anti-aging for your skin, I've been out in the sun, I used to be a lifeguard, so I know I have a lot of skin damage, but also cellular support as well. This is everything, and I really suggest everyone gets this on them. So I actually, in the morning, I will take my Lifelong Vitality Pack with food. That's best for me. And I will also, I do have some other supplements, doTERRA supplements that I use, which are, probiotics with a prebiotic, digestive enzymes. All of that is super important for gut health, because gut health is actually very instrumental to overall health, all right? Many of the issues we're dealing with, again, cellular, but also at a gut level. So I'll take my Lifelong Vitality Pack. I'll take my deep blue capsule, okay? I will also take doTERRA's bone nutrient, all right? So a lot of us that have injuries, a lot of it's actually from vitamin D deficiency. You'd be very surprised. I was surprised to go out and get a vitamin D test and find that I actually was, and that could be part of the problem. As we age, we're gonna have a lot of bone issues. So this, ladies, super important. So I definitely take bone nutrient as well, because hey, strong bones are super, super important for athletes, and another reason why you actually should be lifting to kind of get those a little bit stronger. And then I also do, so I do the DDR prime, the copaiba, frankincense, but I take them internally. So you can either drop them under your tongue, a few drops. Not always my favorite way to take them. So I actually use a veggie cap. All right. So these are super cute. I got a bigger one so you guys can kind of see it. You just open it up and I will actually take the DDR prime and I actually do 4 drops in there. And then I also do copaiba. And again, there's so much more research on all of these, and I'm not going to go into details, but when you actually start looking into it and you actually start seeing people's results, it's like, why wouldn't you try it? It's definitely worth that. So I do 2 drops of copaiba. This one's not too bad under the tongue, so I will actually throw that under my tongue occasionally throughout the day. And you can also do frankincense as well, a couple of drops in there. I usually put it in my face care. I'll put a couple drops into my tongue too. So you have a couple different options that you have. So you can put a couple drops of frankincense and then you'll just do this and you'll swallow it. So super simple. I already took mine this morning, so I'm going to do this one later. So those are the main things that I take in the morning, and then in the evening I also will actually take those same ones. The Lifelong Vitality Pack, I usually take most of that in the morning, so I don't usually take it in the evening. But I'll do my Deep Blue capsule again. I will do, again, my DDR Prime and copaiba, just those basic oils. And then as needed, I will do, again, my Deep Blue rub. And when I do that though, whenever I put it on, you know, my knees bothering me, my ankles bothering me, my back, I will actually add a few drops of the copaiba with it too, because this is kind of your carrier lotion. And that just kind of helps with the pain as well. Also, depending on whatever issue I am dealing with, like when I tore ligaments in my ankles, I'm super stubborn. And I had done, it was a bad one. I did it at the gym doing high knees, like on risers, and I came down and just, it was just devastating, especially since I had a race in, I think it was eight weeks. And I needed to absolutely rehab my ankle before this race. And I was determined I was going to do it. I love doTERRA. I have faith in doTERRA. And I understand the basics of what we need to help support our body. So I actually made a roller ball. So this is like my sprain bomb, I call it. And I've probably got 10 different oils in here. And so I have a recipe I can post on that as well. And then I'd filled probably most of the way and then fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. And I would apply this every couple of hours. Like as I was rehabbing my ankle, I was doing all my exercises. Like I'm very familiar with physical therapy in regards to ankle injuries now. But I used my Lifelong Vitality Pack, my Deep Blue to manage my pain, my copaiba, DDR Prime, all of those, and my bone nutrient, all of it to help, you know, with, like there are oils in here that help with cartilage repair as well, which is kind of important when you're dealing with your ligaments. The problem with ligaments is once you tear those, they are like rubber bands, and unless you have surgery, it's really hard to ever get them fully back. But I just wanted to at least be able to manage it. Okay, so I do wear an ankle brace now because I as comfortable as I may feel, it's that side to side support that I need because I can twist it again in a second. But I was super excited that basically 8 weeks in, I think I was actually about a week, I think I was a week and a half from the race, and I had rehabbed my ankle. I felt really good. I was ready to get back on the road again. I think I had been running a few days, and I sprained it again. I had a brace that I thought was going to support me, and I had more confidence in my ankle than I really should have, and I sprained it again. And I was so upset. And I just took a deep breath. I'm like, we're a week and a half away from this big race. I think I was supposed to run 18 miles on that one. And I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? Oh my gosh, I just wanted to break down and cry. I was just so mad. But I got back home and I just kept going. I just kept rehabbing. I got a better brace that I knew could totally structurally support my side so I can't twist it at all sideways. And I used my sprain balm. I used all of my oils, again, to manage my pain and to support the development and regrowth and just basically, yeah, everything that goes on with my ankle. And needless to say, I did run because that's just how I am. And I did fine. And I will always have to be super careful with my ankle, and I could twist it again, but I at least now know that I can do it and that the oils can support me and that I actually don't really need to use any of those other options out there that sometimes give us a lot of side effects down the road. So that is kind of my story. I just want people to know that it is possible. And if you are interested in learning more and actually putting a regimen together based on whatever it is that you're dealing with, then I'm here to help support you on that. But I will go ahead and post below the items that I use again. And for all of you crazy people out there that think we're like 10 and still running and doing crazy things, I applaud you. We go as long as we can, right? Till we totally break. But love you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.